how could I not have moments when I get down, right? Like, we can never forget that organizing is about human beings who hopefully have real human emotions. And this is really dark and depressing stuff. I would be lying if I didn't say that I came into this with a lot more belief in the power of our democracy and our political process to work. And I don't feel that as much anymore, right? But I oftentimes just have to like put this situation in context. And I think about, you know, the people who have come before me to fight the great fights of our time, you know, the women in the suffrage movement that not only made it possible for me to vote, but to be a woman that has like led a movement around voting and issues. And it, you know, people have sacrificed their lives, people got lynched, people went to jail. And so that context is really important. I mean, in all of the training and educating I've done of young people in this movement, it has been so important to me that they understand the rich history of organizing and sacrifice that's happened in this country, and that we realize that it actually is a great privilege to be doing this work.
I found the whole thing, even when I was really tired, it was always exhilarating. You can imagine, like, having that many people come out to your protest is just, it's a blast, right? It's just fantastic. It's a dream come true. And I've always found that this kind of environmental work is really interesting. It's always trying to figure out what can we do better, what'll really work, how can I mess with this company's ability to destroy, how can I undermine the social license that they have to do this horrible thing to the earth.
So keeping it from getting worse, protecting as much as we can of the natural world, knowing that it's going to be hard and uphill, but it's a fight worth fighting. That's what keeps me and I know my colleagues going.
Today, it's really a wonderful, I think it's a wonderful gift to be able to work with people within companies who do understand their responsibility and are actually psyched about making sure that their company can be in the lead in addressing things that should never have been part of the history of that company. Okay? How wonderful. I mean, these are not people to be demonized. Right? These are all people. We're all in this together. You know, disease affects everybody. Right? I mean, there are education. I mean, when you look at all of the priorities, you know, it's across the board. We have more in common than not.
The favorite part of my job right now is when we can collectively come up with an elegant solution to a problem. Maybe a new campaign, it may be an issue within a campaign. We just launched a new campaign that's about seafood fraud. It's about buying sushi and getting what you actually paid for. And it required us all to think at like 90 degrees from the way we usually do about conservation, because it's not explicitly a conservation campaign. And yet, if we can get set in place the goals that we're going for, which will allow you to trace your fish all the way back to the boat, so you know it's legally caught, you know what it is, you know that it's not bluefin tuna if you don't want it to be bluefin tuna, you know it's not tilapia if you thought you were buying cod, that will have a big conservation benefit. So working with my colleagues to come up with that campaign, launching the campaign, and then having it end up as a front page of the business section of the New York Times was a very good day.